So it didn't take long watching Luka Doncic play for the Los Angeles Lakers last night for me to simply come to the conclusion that Luka Doncic and LeBron James are going to be a real problem for the rest of the National Basketball Association this year. Meanwhile, back in Dallas, you had fans getting kicked out of the game by security guards for actually holding up Fire Nico Harrison signs. It was a big night in the National Basketball Association last night. I've got my thoughts and opinions on Luka Doncic and LeBron James in Luka's debut in Los Angeles, as well as why I truly believe, that if everybody stays healthy, the Oklahoma City Thunder could be in trouble in the Western Conference. All right, welcome back to the NBA Rundown. As always, I'm Dave DeBaugh. Please go ahead and subscribe. Hey, and if you like the video, go ahead and like the video. Now, I'm going to run footage throughout most of the video today so you can actually see, in case you missed it, some good clips of what went down in the game last night. And a lot of what you're going to be seeing here is lobs to Jackson Hayes and Luka's scoring and LeBron scoring. And yeah, let's just face it, they were playing a G League team last night that happens to be called the Utah Jazz. And this game was over in the first quarter. The Los Angeles Lakers played about as free a game, I think, as I've seen them play all year long. It was as clear as water is wet that the Lakers were actually going to win this game. And in fact, it was that clear before the game even tipped off. That being said, Luka certainly, he looks a little sluggish, and that's going to take a little bit of time. But just his playmaking, even the hockey assists that he had in the game were just absolutely fantastic to watch. And it was surreal at times as I watched this game. I mean, there's LeBron James with Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves on the court at the same time. Like, you would think that if Luka was being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, you would think Anthony Davis is gone, but you certainly think that Austin Reeves would have had to have been part of that deal as well as a bunch of draft picks. So, as we all know, Nico Harrison did an absolutely horrific job in this particular trade, and at least getting back more value from what they actually ended up with. It was highway robbery. Now, Luka will work his way back into shape, I'm sure of it. The Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James and Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. And I go a little heavy on Austin Reeves just simply to say we did a video a couple weeks ago about whether or not Austin Reeves should be considered an NBA All-Star. And basically, at the time that we did the video, I said, Austin Reeves is on the cusp of becoming an NBA All-Star. Now, the stats don't necessarily back that up, but if you watched what he did the other night, where he put up 45 points in a game without any real help from anybody else, if you've watched any Los Angeles Laker basketball over the last 6 weeks, you will know that Austin Reeves is absolutely on the cusp of being an NBA All-Star. Not quite there yet, but certainly on the cusp. Now put him on a court with Luka Doncic and LeBron James, and Austin Reeves is certainly going to have a freeing up moment at times. Now, in terms of Luka fitting with LeBron James, I thought JJ Redick did a fantastic job last night. There was Luka and LeBron playing together. Then there was just Luka on the court, and then there was just LeBron on the court. And the opportunity for those two to play together and then play without each other is just got to be scary to the rest of the National Basketball Association. Because when you play the Los Angeles Lakers now, you're either playing both LeBron James and Luka Doncic at the same time, or you're just dealing with LeBron, or if LeBron's not on the court, you're just dealing with Luka. Like JJ Redick must have stayed up 48 hours straight just drawing up plays on napkins, because that's what JJ Redick does. He's constantly thinking about basketball all day long. So watching this all unfold last night, and yeah, Luka only scored 14 points in his debut. You have to remember he hasn't played since Christmas, as we all know. So you knew he was going to be a little bit sluggish. We didn't necessarily see a flurry from Luka last night, but just give this team a chance. Give him 10 games, and I bet at some point you're going to see Luka averaging just around 30 points a game and looking like he's going to dominate the NBA playoffs. Now, speaking of the NBA playoffs, I think it's fair to say that Luka Doncic with LeBron James and, add a buyout player or two in who's a big, who can give them some additional time, assuming Jackson Hayes can stay healthy and those buyout bigs are decent enough, then certainly this Los Angeles Laker team has enough weapons, if you will, to actually scare a lot of teams in the Western Conference. I opened up the show basically saying, is it enough to actually take down the Oklahoma City Thunder in, let's say, a Western Conference Finals? You got to remember, you're talking about Luka Doncic. I mean, Luka Doncic took the Dallas Mavericks last year all the way to the NBA Finals. You got to remember, we're talking about LeBron James, who's in his 40th year in the, not 40, but he's 40 years old, and he's been in the NBA forever. And he's playing like he played 10 years ago right now. Have we ever had two smart players like that playing together on the court at the same time? Now, we know that LeBron's in his 40s, but Luka is 25 years old and is really just at the beginning of his career. And for some strange, bizarre reason, the Dallas Mavericks thought it was a good idea to actually walk away from this guy, and then to actually escort fans out of the game for actually holding up Fire Nico Harrison signs should tell you everything you need to know about the Dallas Mavericks organization at this point. Now, as I mentioned, we're running footage of the game from last night, and you can just tell if you watch any of the game last night that Luka and LeBron are absolutely going to be a problem for the rest of the NBA. Thanks so much for tuning in to the NBA Rundown. As always, I'm Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,